The Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 54, and this play was the turning point. Let's look at the film room. Welcome to RGR, I'm Ryan, and this is me going rogue on the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs, and this Super Bowl in particular. If you're new around here, hit the sub, the notification bell, leave your comment below, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. This one is specifically on the big play, the one that turned it all around for the Kansas City Chiefs, got them out of the hole and got them really cooking. This is going to be a double film room session. Something new that I'm going to do that's going to combine the next-gen stats and the visualizations of all the data points that next-gen stats gets combined with the film. So it's a little bit longer, but I'm going to go through every aspect of this big play. And I know I've been doing a lot of pre-game and post-game film rooms lately that are a bunch of plays stacked together. This one's going to be different. This is going to start a series on Super Bowl plays that we're going to get really deep into a single play, and we're going to go through as many aspects as I can fit in 20 minutes. So let me know what you guys think of this format. I'm real excited about it, and I appreciate everything that you guys have been doing this whole season. There's more to come. We'll do this Super Bowl review. We'll get into the draft talk. Rogue Analytics is firing up for all of the Athletic Matrix stuff, and I'm going to be doing player reviews, position reviews, all kinds of stuff for this draft. So if you're interested in the NFL draft, you want to be here. I appreciate your time. Let's go get after it. Welcome back, RGR fans. This is a new series. Going to do something different today, and we're going to start by looking at the next-gen stats of a particular big play. This is the big play that really got this team going. The 3rd and 15 in the fourth quarter that was complete to Tyreek Hill for 44 yards. This is how I'm going to do it. We're going to go through all the information we can get from next-gen stats, and this is really the overhead, the sky cam type view, but it gives you a really unique look at the actual routes, the way they were run, not how they were designed to be run or, just simple arrows on the screen. Want to show you exactly how the subtle movements of the players actually change the way the play develops. And then we're going to go back and look at the film like we always do so I can show you the physicality part of it, the things that really make the play work from a player movement standpoint. So let's dig into this. Let me know what you think in the comments, as well as leave it a thumbs up if you like this new format. This is the first in a series of plays specific to the Super Bowl that I'm going to be going over. So on this particular play, we all know that it's been a rough go for this team at this point, and this is the situation. Down 20-10, 3rd down, 15 to go on your 35 in the fourth quarter. You come out, and you're in a simple 5-man offensive line, and you're split 3 by 1. This is a common alignment for the Kansas City Chiefs, but the personnel's a little bit different. A lot of times you're going to see 1, 2, 3 wide receivers on the 3 side to Travis Kelce alone over here on the back side. This is a little bit different. This is run out of 12 personnel with 1 back, 2 tight ends, and that changes things. And now you want to stack your athletes together. So Travis Kelce is on the opposite side in the 3, what they call the tray side. This play is called WASP. We've heard this come out of a couple of sources after the game. This is tray left WASP. There's no jet motion in this one, which I know has been confusing for some folks online. I think that was referring to a different play. There's no jet in this, unless they're calling one of these specific routes, that kind of thing. But this is the way that it aligns up. And to start, the way that it's going to flow, it looks like corner, nickel, corner, and 2 safeties in what looks like it could be a cover 2 scenario. That's important because if it did end up staying cover 2, this play would have gone a lot differently, but it's not. And so we're going to start on the far side, looking at Blake Bell and what his route does. His outside release keeps what is Richard Sherman's responsibility, which is this area, the far third of the field. This is a classic cover 3, like that is their base defense. It's going to keep him occupied. And Blake Bell widening and then giving a little bit even of an outside hook continues to hold him just long enough to keep him completely out of the play. Richard Sherman doesn't actually play any part in this play. And then that leaves the nickel and the far corner. And this corner is, again, going to be one of the three in the cover three. He is responsible for a deep third zone. That's the bit that's intriguing because he is drawn by Sammy Watkins being the man that aligns in his zone to begin with. And you'll see on the film that this is pretty clear in terms of what the corners are doing. You would think that this could have been man inside had they chose to do that, but it's not. It's going to be a flat zone across the inside too, with some linebackers that have some decent speed. So that's a portion of what happens here as well. But the key difference, you're going to see a stunt up front here. There'll be more on the view of the line here coming up later in the video. 4-man rush, 7 in coverage. The linebackers are going to be in the hooks. And this particular nickel is not going to carry down the field. They're not giving special attention to Tyreek Hill at all. And I think probably by the time that they had gotten to this point, they had seen this coverage a couple of times. And they knew, from all accounts, they knew they had this on them. They were just waiting for the right alignment so they could try to make their keys and recognize. And I think the staggered safeties is probably the thing that gave it away. The corners are both vehemently showing you what they're trying to do. Unless they're really good actors, they're showing you cover 3 to begin with. And so the question is, if they're diving for zones, what are these two doing? And I think Patrick recognized it pretty easily. And the scope of the play is that right now it looks like, hey, everybody's got, possibly a double here. You could even say that maybe they want to try to double Travis Kelce in the middle, but that's not the case. This is going to go to a single high in a cover 3, and this is going to be a robber safety here at 29. And that's key because Travis Kelce is going to occupy 2 guys. And as we roll forward at the snap, the players begin and come off in a way that keeps everybody occupied initially. And you see right here, as we go from pre-snap, where the safety's aligned here about 50-50 between the numbers and the hash, to in the first couple steps, the first 10 yards of Tyreek Hill's route, he's already moved to the hash. So that tells you where his responsibility is and where he's going. Here's the other significant thing. Warner's a pretty athletic linebacker, but in what is probably at this point less than 1.8 seconds, Hill has eaten all that cushion. He's running through his zone. Travis Kelce's coming into it, and this is where it gets key. Travis Kelce is pressing here and trying to occupy these 2 defenders. This robber safety's got to take him because he's the only defender between the hashes right now. As it goes forward, that's what Travis Kelce is doing. He's actually going to pull a little move here that I'll show you on the film that is really nifty in pulling that safety even farther down so that he can't get backside help. In case the play breaks down, Travis Kelce, in my opinion, would likely be the second target on this progression because you're trying to stretch and you're trying to attack the middle. Because it's single high, you have 2 routes that initially show that they are going to flood and attack the same zone in the cover 3, but the single high cover 3. You have Kelce and Tyreek Hill going to this area, which is going to make this safety make a decision. And that's what this play is completely based on, is putting this guy to a decision and knowing where to put the ball. Now, some of the athleticism comes into account, and that's what Patrick I think he makes his decision. This was clearly designed, in my opinion, to go to Hill, and I think he saw all he needed to see and was able to let the ball go in time, especially because, as you see here, Bosa's already come through. Eric Fisher's riding him into the middle to try and protect Pat, but 99's coming around as well. We'll look at that here in a minute. The other interesting thing, and you can see how the route path actually shows off what they end up doing, but right now what it looks like to this safety is that he's got Hill and Kelce both coming for him. Kelce throttles down, makes this safety bite a little bit, which makes this guy relax just a touch. But right here, the corners don't really know what Sammy's doing. If Sammy had run a 12-yard hard dig and come off hard right, he'd run into a linebacker. So that's not really what's helping. It's the fact that him dragging through what is a pretty mellow turn in terms of running for the post or whatever they decided the language is of what Andy wants, that really influences the fact that 24's got to his hook. 41 here is trying to carry with Sammy because he's run through his zone and he's trying to leave it. And now you've got Travis Kelce behind his safety. 20 has him and Tyreek Hill bearing down on him. If you look at the distance, it is really telling that right now, 6.5 yards for Tyreek Hill as he's starting to belly his route back to the outside. From this safety over to Travis Kelce, there's 9 separation between the two of them. But that's not enough. That's still pretty tight quarters for a safety to try and choose. And I think that it's one of those deals that it's 6 of one, half dozen of another if you're going to hurt yourself here. But to top it all off, Sammy's diving inside as well. So these guys have to be concerned with the underneath as Tyreek Hill is able to just run it straight back to the outside. And now he's so alone, it's scary. As we look at distance here, it's opened up to over 7 yards. The ball has been thrown. It's halfway home. And let's see, Tyreek to this outside third defender is now over 10 yards because of the in-breaking route by Sammy. Sammy actually took a lot of attention here. And you can see that Kelce was successful in pulling his safety up, making the turn. Now, if this high safety had dove real hard and is, say, over in this area, still ahead of Tyreek Hill, even though he has the speed advantage, what this says is that if this middle area between the hashes is vacated by this safety, Travis cannot turn it up so hard, but turn it up a little bit shallower, and Mahomes has him as a secondary target. I do feel that's the way that it went. This is a bit congested to really give you a second option here. But as we go back, I want to take a look at the moment of release. And I know this isn't on the screen right now, but the moment of the release is right here. Tyreek Hill has 12-yard separation there. He has 8.5 here. And though he has only 6.7 at the point of a release, he is fully accelerating on his arc away from that high safety. And that is just a point where, knowing that this corner had not dove hard for the backside in that third wide zone, Patrick knew that as soon at this point when Tyreek Hill has beaten the linebacker coverage, he knows it's zone, and right here, this safety is still continuing towards the middle of the field. Patrick knows he has him. He just has to put the ball out there enough for Tyreek to run under it. In the face of pressure, it comes all the way through, and we saw the result live. Let's go take a look at it on the film. And on the big play, here's the film, and you can see the alignment. You saw this, a lot of this you saw on the broadcast, but this is a little bit different seeing the all-22 because so zeroed in on what's going in on the line of scrimmage. But again, at the line of scrimmage, 5-man line, Wiz is trying to communicate, make sure they have an idea about who's going where, because there is a twist coming. We're going to see that in a minute. This is Bell that I was talking about earlier on the NGS that is not quite in line, but definitely a lot closer you see here than Travis Kelce is. And again, this is a little bit strange because most of the time, if you're San Francisco, you've done your homework and you know that when they come out in 3-by-1, that's 1, 2, 3 by 1. Most of the time, it's Travis Kelce down here. They don't run this 3-by-1 that often out of double tight, 12 personnel. But when they do, this is what it gives you, is mismatches at the second level and specifically down the middle, like we talked about pre-game. This is Sherman lined up protecting. His hips are wide open. He's got this middle third of the deep. Other corner has the middle third on the other side. He, again, is turned wide open, a little bit closer, just because there's more action over there. They could run some quicks. They could try to run a screen here, even out of this formation, and he wants to be able to jump into that. So he's getting ready. But again, this is showing that he's got zone responsibility. This is a cheat.
you don't fake this that often if you're going to end up playing man. This could have been a cover match kind of thing where he will go attack a route that comes into his zone. But as the play rolls forward, you'll definitely see that he is protecting deep. And we'll just start it here real quickly and then bring it back. Trying to communicate to the deep safety who's not paying any attention. He is going to be the deep safety as they're trying to show kind of a cover 2 look here. This guy's going to become the robber, and Ward's going to go deep. This corner right here, he's trying to bail. He's getting ready. He's moving deep, turned his hips. He is protecting this deep third. This safety, I believe that's Ward, has moved to the middle, and he is going to try to continue to move to the middle. Sherman's here, ready. I mean, what is he? 18 yards, 19 yards off the line of scrimmage at this point, ready to man this deep third. Whoever comes over here, if it were Kelce to try to carry through on that intermediate crosser that they run sometimes, this is Sherman looking in on Kelce. Not quite as perturbed or concerned about Blake Bell. Blake Bell breaks this out on an out route right now. That's a first down and then some because there's nobody close enough. But that's not this play design. He is there really to just take the guy, Sherman in this case, on this side and keep him occupied. You see immediately on the go that the middle of the field is the same. The linebackers are both dropping into zones. So is this nickel. He is not trying to man up on Tyreek Hill. He did not go to meet him in any way. He did not try to get into his route. He is actually fading away from Hill, trying to get to a shallow zone that is going to be his responsibility as they go through here. And that's where the problem comes. Right now, 29 is flat-footed in the middle, waiting to see where Kelce goes. Problem is, Kelce's running right at him, and he's got room to move. And this is where Hill, I'll give Warner credit, he's protected almost 13 yards deep, but Hill's going to start to run right by him. And both of them are going to stress this high safety as he's still trying to get over into the true middle. You see, he's still gaining ground, and now Hill's by him. And now Kelce's about to go by him. I'm going to show you more of that here in a second. And at this point, Mahomes knows he has this. You look at the way that this safety is turned. He is turned as though Hill is going to carry this way, and he has his hips facing the absolute wrong direction. And that is due to the double threat, because right now you have Kelce coming too. He's beaten the robber and is coming through this zone as well. This is the classic. This is why the play is designed this way. It is to stress out that high safety. Again, if you get cover 2 here, this doesn't work because each guy can take one. But right now, this guy has clearly made a decision, which still baffles me why you decide to go away from Tyreek Hill. A lot of folks ask me why you might want to pick him up in free agency. This is a reason why you don't. And he's done. Hill's just going to bend it back. Kelce continues to bend it back too, again, in case there was a secondary need of any kind, if something had gone wrong at the line of scrimmage that he hasn't seen because his back's been turned. And at this point, just at the point that I showed you before, there's 7 yards of separation here, and Hill has the guy completely turned around. So it's just a well-designed play. There are multiple options in the area that are keeping anyone from doubling Tyreek Hill, and that's how it worked out. Now, I want to go to the other view because I want you guys to see exactly how this comes off in the front, and then we'll go back and look at Kelce again. And this is a little bit troublesome. This throw almost got away from Pat Mahomes because of pressure, and you're going to see why. As they roll forward, it's going to be a stunt. Wiz was trying to get this figured out. Right now, Bosa's about to engage a little bit and kind of feign at it, and then he's going to dive inside. As they roll through, here it comes. Fish has to go with him. Buckner's now going outside and comes all the way around. Now, Fish did a good job carrying Bosa's weight through, but it does open the door for an athletic defensive lineman against a veteran guard that's not as athletic anymore. And you guys know how I feel about Wiz, and I think he was a key part in getting this Super Bowl one. But at this point, he just doesn't have the athletic explosiveness to keep up. And so now Pat's just got to wait, try to recognize, and get the ball out at the last second. He does, and the rest is history. But I want to go back and show you what I think is something that's really overlooked, and it is Travis Kelce's fake in here. As we watch it go through, keep an eye. He almost right here throttles down. just to get that safety to bite a little bit more. Again, he's a secondary option on this route, but in doing that, it just allows him to pull that safety down a little farther, making the deep safety have that much harder of a decision with Hill. This is a great play. One that I think you're going to see again in some kind of version or scenario, but let me know how you guys like this format, me going through both the visual and the film. I really liked it, but I want to know what you think. Plenty more to come from the Super Bowl. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So thanks for checking this one out today. Check out these videos as they come up, and I'll check you next time.